as you probably know, I just recently got this Blue Yeti microphone. I got it last week and I already did a test with it. I was having some issues with the 2-channel sounds, but for that I've already fixed it, so it shouldn't be any problem. So right now the 2-channel sounds should be working just fine. Right, just checking. And today we actually have a few things to do because I bought a few new microphone covers for this mic, and it could be really good because they do different things, and we're gonna test them out one by one today to see what they can do and what they're good for. Okay, so the first one is the one I'm having right now. So as you can see, this one I have on, it's a really spongy, soft black cover. Yeah, so in terms of the texture, it's actually not that dense. I know it looks pretty dense, that's just because the color is black, but the texture itself is not that dense, so there are actually some space in between. And you can see there are little holes on the mic cover, and I guess that way it kind of creates a little bit of space. I think what it does is that it helps to filter out any unnecessary noises. I think it's really helpful because sometimes I do get a lot of unnecessary noises, especially when I'm filming in this room, which is located right next to a road, so you might get some like traffic noises from the road. Sometimes it sounds so bad, it just feels like I'm living right next to a highway, but I swear to God, I'm not. And it does get better when I try to film my videos in the closet, but that way I have to lock myself up in the closet for hours. I mean, it's not fun. So it's nice to have tools like this to kind of help improve the quality. And talking of noises, you just heard it right there, just now. Well, for these mic covers, I wanted to try different things and see which one works the best. So I actually bought a set, and there are 4 of them together in the set. So this is the first one I'm trying on. it's also a little bit fluffy and hairy. Alright, I'm just gonna gently take it out. Okay. Okay. This is what the cover looks like. It's really soft. Really fluffy. Yeah. And it's got some fibers, a lot of fibers on top. So the thing with this one is, it's got a really funny name. It's called Dead Cat. I guess a lot of people call it Dead Cat because it actually looks like a cat that's been dead. It just sits on your microphone or sits on top of your camera. Some people might use this on the camera, but the one for your camera is actually much smaller than this. Same concept, but much smaller, and you just put it on top of your camera. What it does is that if you're filming in a really windy place, and it's gonna prevent a lot of the windy noises, like the sound that the wind makes, the whistling wind. So I guess supposedly it is really good for getting rid of any wind noises. If you're ever filming in a really windy place, well, let's put it on and see what it does. Okay, now I have put on this cover, and you can probably already tell the difference because when I'm speaking, I'm actually talking really close to the microphone right now, so I'm making a lot of sounds when I'm blowing a little bit wind into the microphone. I mean, that's gonna be inevitable, but with this cover on, you can probably already tell it's actually getting rid of a lot of that blowing sounds. This one definitely does a better job than the black one in terms of cancelling out any noises because of me blowing into the microphone. Now I'm gonna try blowing into the microphone and see what it does. Just really gently blowing into the microphone, because if I blow really hard into the microphone, I don't think that's gonna do anything because it's just so strong and you don't want it to be that strong. I mean, normally you're just talking, you're not really like blowing really high into the microphone. So let me just try it. Just really gentle blow. Wow, I'm actually really impressed. So what I just did is that I was blowing air into the microphone directly. I didn't hear any turbulence or any dramatic noises in the headphones. I'm monitoring the sounds right now. When I was blowing into it, I was actually blowing a lot of air into the microphone, but I did not hear anything dramatic. So I think it's working pretty well. Let's try again from the side, maybe. the side where it's really sensitive, and I was doing it from a really close distance, and there was a little bit of vibrations, a little bit turbulence, but not too much. So I'd say it's definitely doing its job. Let's try this side. Yeah, so a little bit, just a little bit. And the vibrations and turbulence I'm getting from these headphones is actually acceptable, so nothing too dramatic. So I'd say this is working pretty well. Like even with this surface, you can actually touch it a little bit with your fingers. With the other ones, since the other cover is really sensitive to any touches or any scratching, so if you're getting really close to it, you make any contact with the surface, it's gonna make a huge noise. But with this one, it's actually okay, as long as I don't touch it too hard. Just give it a gentle touch. As long as I'm doing it gently, then it's fine. Just on the surface. Yeah, so I'd say this one's pretty fun. Okay, so I think now we have an idea of what this one can do, and we can move on to the next one. Yeah, and one thing I also noticed is that even with the finger sounds, it's not that strong with this one. Because when I'm fluttering my fingers, I think I'm also creating some turbulence in the air, which is, kind of like a wind going to the microphone. But it's not picking up that much, not as much as the one I just tried. So even the finger sounds are more gentle, which could be good. Alright, let's try the next one and see if it's any different. Now I have the third one on. When I was putting it on, I noticed that the shape is kind of different, because this one looks more like a bullet head, and it was much easier to put it on as well. The first one, the black one, actually looks like this one, but it was a lot harder to put on the first one, because the first one's got like a little elastic band at the bottom, so it was a lot harder. I had to stretch the bottom and put it on and adjust it. But with this one, the shape is kind of pointy and the length is much shorter, so it was so easy. It's just basically like putting on a cap. I just put it on top and pushed it in, and it didn't really need a lot of adjustment. I'd say the application was pretty easy. it's gonna be a big one compared to the ones we just tried. Well, let me just show you how big it is so you can see for yourself before I put it on there, because I think it's gonna take some time to actually install it on this microphone. Okay, so this is the last one. I know, it looks kind of huge. It's got this little rod and you can bend it and shape it however you want, which can be really convenient because sometimes you might be placing your microphone in different positions depending on the setting. So with this little bendy thing you can actually alter the shape and make sure this little shield is always in front of the microphone. I mean, it shouldn't be on this side, of course, like this, in front of the microphone. Okay, everybody, I'm back. So this is how it looks like when I put it on. This one has got a little screw-on thing on one end of the rod, and you just basically put it on the microphone and tighten it and bend this rod this direction. So in this case I did it this way so it can sit right in between the microphone and me. And with this one, I think the good thing is it kind of prevents you from speaking too closely to the microphone. And this thing is called Pop Shield. So it's pretty intuitive. Basically, I think what it does is that it prevents any popping sounds when you're speaking. But I don't know if it's doing it because of the physical distance I have with the microphone now, because when I'm talking a lot further away from a microphone, of course, it's not gonna pop that much because the sound is not gonna be that prominent. Or it actually has some really good technology. For example, this piece of fabric, this mesh, or this mesh in front of me can magically filter out the popping sound. I don't know which one it is. It could be physical, like the physical distance, or it could be some really good material, or there's something magical about this mesh. Based on what I read, for this cover, this pop shield, the original purpose of this is supposed to be broadcasting, because when you are doing a broadcast, or when you are doing a podcast in general, you're speaking with your normal voice and you want to speak a little bit away from that microphone, because when you're speaking with your normal voice, of course, you're gonna make a lot of explosive sounds, a lot of sounds like pop, pop, you know, your voice, it's gonna be a lot louder. So when you're speaking much louder, you're gonna create a lot of the explosive sounds. So I think that's why people think it's so useful to have this thing in between you and the microphone. I'm really close to the microphone. If I wanna say something, for example, some words that involve a lot of popping sounds, I don't think it's gonna really help me filter out those sounds. For example, pop, pop, candle, pop, pop, puppy, party. Yeah, as you can see, when you say those words, the sounds are still pretty explosive. I don't think I'd be using this that much because in most cases voices. I'm not really speaking with my normal voice. So yeah, that was pretty much the summary. And now I'm gonna take it off. Okay, alright guys, I'm back. I just removed the pop shield and then put this dead cat back on. As you can see, it's really cute. I just like how it looks. Based on the review we just did, this one is definitely the winner. So Dead Cat is the winner. Yeah, I know it sounds kinda funny and pretty cruel as well. I mean, it's not because I actually have a dead cat sitting on the microphone. It's just this really cute thing. Well, I think overall this is gonna be the mic cover I will be using most often because I like how it looks, and also it does help to get rid of some of that blowing sound because you don't want to be blowing your microphone too much, especially when